Call Julianne Genter.
Tanako, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Very pleased to take a very short call on the second reading of the legislation bill, which the Green Party will be supporting. And we supported on first reading to the committee, but unfortunately I did not have the honour or pleasure to be on the committee, and in fact I don't believe there was a single Green member on the committee, so we weren't able to watch its progression through the Select Committee as closely as we would have liked. But I mean, what the bill is effectively seeking to do is very reasonable, and I think it's very important to be able to have regular revision of legislation, make sure that it's able to be made available, to be reprinted, to be corrected, and above all to be accessible, because really it is one tenet, I think, of a functioning democracy is that what happens at the level of the elected representatives needs to be transparent and clear and accessible to the people of New Zealand. One of the 4 key charter principles of the Green Party is appropriate decision-making, and we really can't have appropriate decision-making if we don't have transparency and the ability of the general public to understand what legislation means for them and able to interpret it quite easily. So the changes the changes that take effect in the form of the revision bills, I think will clearly lay out the purpose of revision, need to be certified by several experts, including the President of the Law Commission and the Chief Parliamentary Counsel. Though it remains for the Standing Orders Committee to decide the specific process, we are satisfied that it would be impossible for a revision bill to pass without parliamentary scrutiny. And that's really important. And it is, I'm happy to say, not at all in the line of other bills that we've seen pass way too quickly through this House that have given far too much power to the executive, the ability to make regulations, make changes to law through orders in council without parliamentary scrutiny, and that's very, very problematic. It's a real pattern, I think, of this government to try to bypass parliamentary scrutiny and bypass the wider debate, which leads to more informed legislation and better legislation. So happy to say that this bill doesn't do that, doesn't continue in that pattern of taking away power from Parliament, from the people, and giving it to the executive. Keeping legislation modern and accessible is fundamentally important, as I've said, to our democracy. The law should be something that everyone can engage with. The ability to revise old legislation to make it clear and understandable fulfills the duty that we have to make laws that everyone can comprehend. And we also support the bill's provision that official versions of legislation are able to be made available electronically online. That's extremely useful, and I think that it encourages us to make better laws, to have them available to be perused and criticized and open to the public scrutiny online. So this bill is a very small step, but the Green Party is very, very happy to support it, as we do believe it will shed more light on the activity of Parliament and is a way to make New Zealand more democratic. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Call Mike Sabin.
Thank you, Mr.